The best advice to Canadians is to leave. Like the pronouns, gender pronouns. Him, her, she, whatever. Imagine all that energy you focus on worrying about your pronouns and you put that toward a side income, a business, or just even doing extra overtime at work. Now you're way above like the average Canadian that has to pay his bills, mortgage, inflation, right? Hey guys, BD Investing here. I'm a long-term investor and options trader, and today I'm here with Wealth Busters, and we're going to be talking about investing, finances, all the problems in Canada, all the problems with inflation and interest rates, and also why most of you guys are broke. There's a monopoly, right?
100%.
Just like how Bell, Rogers,
they all crazy.
Like I was actually talking to my coworker about this yesterday, where it's like, yeah, inflation, because of interest rates, it makes sense that they're allowed to raise the food prices, but then the fact that they're raising the prices, but then they're also just adding a little bit more on top just to profit. And the thing is, they talk to, like, I'm pretty sure all three of them, like the three owners of Western George, Metro, whatever, they're all probably friends, and they're probably controlling the food prices, right? And I think they're getting sued, or there's a lawsuit going on right now currently as we're speaking, and they're winning.
It's crazy. It's the same thing that happened like when the gas price went up a lot. They were like, oh yeah, this is the reason why we need to raise the prices. And then when everything is done, the price doesn't go down.
That's the funny thing, because if you look at the price of the oil barrels, they were the same as before the Ukraine war. But guess what? Gas was still $1.40.
Yeah, you know? Like they justified the increase based on that, and then like they're never bringing that down. By the way, the minute
they're not gonna bring it down. It should be, to be honest, realistically, if you adjust it to the price back in 2020, it should be like $1.20, maximum $1.30. Like I'm seeing people get excited over gas being $1.40. Like people are at the pump lining up. I'm like, holy fuck, man.
I remember.
And there's water down in the winter, so like.
Seriously, like 10 years ago, it was like in the cents. Like it wasn't even at the dollar yet, and like now we're happy that it's less than $2, and I'm just like, damn, it's making me feel old.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's called the price fixation.
Yeah.
Once it goes up, you guys are used to it. It's never coming down. Yeah. If he's not doing it, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
So why not we keep it here? We all make more money.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like food, because I have friends who I want to say which supermarket, but owned by the Loblaws, and they're at the very high up level. They're like, this was happening. COVID, yes, there's some inflation. After that, it's true just price fixation.
Yeah.
We're not backing down.
And they're probably doing the gas station effect. That's what I like to think of it as. It's like when you see a 7-Eleven or you see an Esso, if one lowers their price, the other one does the same. If one increases, the other one does the same. Same thing with the grocery stores. They see an increase in price in one area, they're like, okay, I can bring that up a little bit. No one's going to know.
Well, the funny thing is, like, my growing up, my mom used to do the price matching. I don't know if you guys ever done that.
Yeah, the coupon clipping.
Not even the coupon
no, you
clipping.
Bring the flyer,
you bring the flyer. Yeah.
Hey, Loblaws this.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, it's like my mom would go from Loblaws to Superstore to Food Basics, right?
Yeah.
And she's matching the price. She goes, oh, Loblaws. Food Basics is cheaper. Loblaws, you had to give it to me cheaper.
Yeah.
And then they never made a fight about it. Like, okay, now I'm looking at this. I'm like, boom, we just scammed them, right? And now when I'm looking at all the research, you find out they're all owned by the same fucking guy. So it doesn't matter who you buy from. The guy's still laughing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe you just got 5-10 cents cheaper. So it's like, no wonder they don't fight about it, because it's all going to the same.
If that's what you want to focus your energy on, keep focusing on that, so you don't truly find out the real problem is. We jacket it all up together, right? Focus on that small stuff, saving that. And I think we can segue into the main problem that you think why people are not wealthy or even broke these days. Why?
How much time do we have, Dave?
Why?
So much things we're talking about.
Why? Like what? Like
you know what? I was actually also. I think he told me. You're Muslim?
Yeah. Well, I was raised Muslim. I'm not. Like,
okay. Well, well, I'm Muslim, right? So I was gonna talk about like the whole Palestinian protests and stuff. And in my younger days, I'm just gonna quickly go over.
Yeah.
In my younger days, like this Palestinian thing has been going on for years, and then you have the Uyghurs, Chinese, and all that stuff going on too, right? So back in the day, I used to be very verbal about it. I was broke. I was in college, you know. Mm-hmm. But I went to the protests and went to maybe like 5 protests in my life. Never saw any changes, right?
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's the point of doing this? People are still getting bombed.
Yep.
Nothing's changing. And I realized it's like, at the end of the day, money changes. If you want to see any real change, you need money.
100%.
You need a fucking lot of it, right?
Money's king. That's what it is. Because I've been to a bunch of those protests too. Like legit in university, I was going to all the Palestinian and pro-Palestinian rallies, and like Nothing would happen. We would just essentially go there to get pissed. And that was it. It would just ruin your mood. You see the same thing happening day in and day out. And at some point you're just like, why am I doing this? Like, this sucks. Yeah. And that's when I realized, like, you want to motivate like people to actually create change. Money is the best motivator.
Well, that's the thing. Like, now, thank God I have decent amount of money.
Yeah.
And what I did was, like, I created, like, I pay, you know how you pay for wells outside? So made some wells in like Pakistan and like places in Africa. I also gave like donation of food to the Gaza kids, right? And now I get those pictures and I actually see the change versus me fucking stopping traffic in downtown Toronto, getting cussed off and getting more hate towards my people. You know what I mean? Like, if I like, it's the same thing. Like, if I like, obviously I'm not gonna say this, but if I like saw like the Israel people protesting and they're blocking traffic, now I'm gonna say, F the Jews, right?
Well, it's because it's an inconvenience.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
So obviously they're saying the same thing to Muslims too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't really, it just makes more problems. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna like say like, oh, like those people suck and they shouldn't do it. Like, it does create awareness, but you have to focus your energy. Like, yeah, go out on the weekend. Don't go every fucking day.
Yeah.
Go out for maybe 1-2 hours, show your support. But hey, like, look at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, you gotta make money, and if you want to make little changes,
and don't inconvenience the people who are at the same level as you. Like, the people who are not making the change to stop this shit, you're not inconveniencing them by stopping me on my way home after work. Like, I'm just trying to get home. I'm sick of this shit as much as you guys are. Like, the stop oil stuff, like where they literally stop traffic. It's like, man, I'm just trying to.
The Greta Thunberg shit.
I don't even know. I don't know if it's her, but there was like this, like they're very like extremist. Yeah, and there's like just stop oil or something.
Remember during one of the, I think it was the Jerome Powell meetings, and then they broke in. Like, when he was, it was either he was talking about the interest rates or he was talking about the FOMC minutes, right?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
I didn't follow that one. Tell me more about what about that one?
Nothing. Like, he was. So this is like everyone's waiting for this news where either they're gonna cut the rates, they're gonna pause the rates, or they're gonna increase the rates, right?
Yeah.
Now everyone's tuned in. I was like, all right. So Jerome Powell's about to go. He's about to say, like, inflation has cooled down. Boom! All of a sudden, like 4 people come in. Oh, stop carbon, stop, like, stop the oil, like, da-da-da. They're all talking about that, lower the gas prices. So they crushed the meeting, and then all of a sudden, like, Jerome Powell's like, get the fuck out of here.
He said that?
like the mic was here, and he's like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
Really? He said that?
Yeah.
On the camera?
Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
But like, I don't blame him. It's like, what change did that do? If anything, everyone was more like, get the fuck out. We want to know if our mortgage is going up or not. We don't give a fuck about the gas prices right now. You know what I mean?
Seriously. Yeah.
Like, I've been seeing a lot of those videos where they're like glue themselves in traffic, and it's like, bro, you're just pissing off people who are just as pissed off about it.
Or that thing with I think it was the Mona Lisa or something.
Yes. Oh my, that was horrible.
But I think they had like some kind of glass.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. And they clearly did it, and they fucked up.
Like, it's just, I don't understand, like, I don't know. I don't understand, like, defacing that type of stuff. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like, if you actually were to ruin that, you just were selfish and took that away from everyone to see. Because, like, I don't know.
I used to be, like super liberal, go Trudeau and shit. And then, like the more people go, like, to the right, the more I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to the left. You know what I mean? It's like the line was here, and then like now you're just standing here, like, it's getting too crazy, And well, I think the more money you make too, you start being more on the other side.
100%.
I'm trying to save some money here.
100%. That's what it is. Also, the shit people are doing is so wild. They made me conservative. It's starting to kill me. No, I'm playing.
So it seems like you have some strong opinions on like the rate cuts and all the inflation stuff, right? Where do you think where that's going, and what are you doing in your investment account to counter that?
Well, like for now, I do see like the interest rates being cut, right?
Yeah.
I'm predicting March, just because
Hasn't been cut yet though.
Hasn't been cut, but I'm predicting March, worst case May, June.
Yeah.
And that's only because I follow inflation so closely. But now I'm talking about the States. Like, Canada's inflation is a little bit more sticky, but the United States inflation is looking a little bit better. And majority of my money is tied up in the States, S&P and like just the tech stocks and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But for Canada-wise, like, I'm looking more into REITs, REITs, REITs.
Why REITs?
because it's real estate, and when the interest rate gets cut, like obviously, like
They do
But
what?
you know what the problem is? You know what the problem in Canada is? Like the minute rate cuts, like minute loans are cheaper and the rates get cut, everyone just gets so greedy because like what 70% of our market is real estate.
Yeah.
I don't know, you're a real estate guy. What 70% is real estate?
Yeah, but I think that's just human nature, right?
Is it that bad in the States though? Because I don't know.
In the States, they also have a lot more population and a lot more housing available, whereas here it's like we're also taking in a lot more immigrants. So there's not too much housing, but in the States, like large piece of land, a lot of housing. I mean, the ones that BlackRock isn't buying. And then their immigration slow down. We're going to edit that out.
Dude, one view only.
We're going to edit that out. But yeah, like their housing is like a little bit more stable than ours. Like ours is legitimately all over the map and it's volatile AF, but theirs is like when it goes up, it's kind of steadier, I'd say.
It's more steady, yeah.
It depends on the market too. Like if you're looking at New York or something, like different story, but we're going to do like an average on the whole. It's a little steadier than Canada for sure.
But like for the fact that just me predicting rate cuts, like you know, you have all these I've noticed a lot of Canadian companies, especially utilities and telecoms and REITs, real estate companies, they're carrying a lot of debt, and obviously they were getting destroyed. I would say the last 2 years, just because you know they had to pay so much on interest.
Yeah.
But now that you know the analysts are forecasting, the economists, or they're all forecasting the rates to be cut, I think I'm slowly starting to see the money going back into these, you know.
Yeah, the money on the sideline. But what if it didn't cut and actually went up even more?
Yeah.
Then,
what if that happened?
Then I think that's gonna shock people so much because now everyone's finally feeling like, hey, everything's easing, things are looking a little bit better.
There was hope, but now there's no hope.
Hopium, that's what we call it.
Right? Hopium, right? And then people make decision on hopium, not on the reality of things, right? So they buy on the rumor, sell on the news. They're all thinking the rate is going to stop hiking and goes down, but what if it goes the other way? No one talk about going the other way.
Well, the thing is, I'm so data driven. You know, we're both engineers. We look at the data like crazy. And that's the one thing I realized. Like a lot of people say, don't look at the data, especially like just, you know, don't time the market. But when you look at the data and you have like a higher probability of timing the market, right? So I'm looking at inflation so closely. I'm not only looking at the year over year. I'm looking at the month over month. I'm looking where the changes are. Like right now, like you know what's funny? Like our inflation is so contradicting because like 30% of it is just based on mortgage and rent, right? So guess what? They say we're gonna raise the interest rates to bring down inflation, but you're also bringing the rent and mortgage up. So it's like it's a contradicting factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how are we ever gonna get inflation to 2%?
Yeah.
So
or if we ever will.
If you ever look at the true inflation number, it's like at 22%.
Yeah, it is.
The rolling calendar.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like they're either fudging the numbers or
they can strategically do things, right? Because if you really show that, I mean, the way I can tell by the real inflation is go out to have a dinner at a restaurant. Look at the price before COVID and after COVID. All I seen went up 40, 50%. You tell me inflation rate, a single digit for the last 3 years, I don't know how that adds up.
Remember how I told you that we talked about this? Remember how I said, you know how we calculate inflation in the hood? You go
in the hood.
So you go check the price of junior chickens and ice caps.
Oh my god, that you know what?
Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
Well, okay. So like back in high school, like junior chickens and like McDonald's and all that was like maybe $1.10 for a burger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ice cap was maybe $1.05. You go for an ice cap now, I think it's like $2.20.
Yep.
And a fucking and a burger is like $2.
Dude, we got a McDouble.
And this is supposed to be like value meals, right? This is supposed to be like value meals.
It's supposed to be like $2 or less. I used to get McDoubles for less than $2. Literally last week, $4. I was like, for a McDouble, like that's on the value side. I was like, something is going on, and I'm pissed. But it very well.
If people can't buy like the most basic fast food, you know, and like coffee, like it's supposed to be cheap, you know. Coffee's supposed to be something you quickly go get, like you need something for work, and if that's running people $2.20. Why are they not making it at home? And I'm seeing a lot of people with those Nespresso machines are going like viral on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has an Nespresso machine because it's cheaper just to buy the pods.
Seriously. I had to become the barista. Like, seriously.
Oh, I started studying coffee like no tomorrow. I'm like, okay, I'm not drinking no 10% cream.
Seriously.
I need my 35% cream in here, and I need Arabic or beans.
I need the Columbia.
Like, I'm starting to look at the coffees, man. Like, I never used to do this. It'd just be like Tim Hortons, McDonald's. But now I'm picky. I'm like, this is some broke people shit.
I know, I'm snobby now. But honestly, one thing that I'm thinking is very realistic that's going to happen is that the market is going to go the opposite direction of what you think. So I'm thinking that the rates are going to go up. And the reason I say that is, one, devil's advocate, but also in 2008, economists were predicting that it was going to be the best year ever. So I don't know.
Yeah, like definitely, like it's always good to be on the other side because you have to be skeptical. Like I am seeing a lot of like hopium in the like in the news. Like one red flag I already saw was CNBC was saying, hey, the best time to buy stocks is when we reach all-time highs. Now, if
interesting.
So now when you're in the markets, you can just pull this up on Google if you want. But yeah, when you're in the markets, you know never to buy the top, right? But anyways, they're also saying, hey, we're expecting rate cuts to happen in March. Now, when news headlines start saying that, I do get a little bit skeptical, right? Now, I'm starting to have like some kind of a cognitive dissonance, right? Because I'm thinking like, whoa, am I right? Or are they right? Or am I wrong? Or are they wrong? Like,
are you part of the herd?
That's the thing.
Exactly. The last thing you want to do is be part of the sheep because at the end of the day, sheep get slaughtered.
Exactly.
Right? But that's the thing. I'm looking at the inflation numbers. I think we raised a little bit to 3%. Now, if you look at the February, because it's a lagging indicator. If we look at the February numbers, I think they're expecting the U.S. inflation to go to like 2.9%, which is the drop from 3.2. That's just the forecast, right? And what's their goal? 2%. Now, I'm only based on the data, so you could be right. Like inflation is still sticky, right? Like
I hope I'm wrong
because now.
So what if we play this game? If the rates actually, first scenario is the rates goes down. Okay, everything's great. Pent up demand, buying real estate market, everything back, all the transaction come back. What if it stays the same? What would it look like? The rate stays the same for the next 5 years. No, same rate as right now. Prime rate of 7.2 stays for 5 years. What will it look like?
I've raised my heart.
We're gonna reach the recession faster than ever. And well, see, the thing is, if they keep rates higher and inflation is not changing, we could enter. So there's like two scenarios. We either enter deflation, which is worse. We either enter stagflation, which means nothing happens. Economy stays the same, inflation stays the same, higher interest rates stay the same, and people are just going to suffer over the long term.
That's what it is.
And the third one is just higher rate for longer, and we just boom into a recession, and that could progress into rate cuts almost immediately. Or it depends the severity of the recession, right? I think I'm seeing a lot of job cuts starting to happen, especially with tech companies. Now, I don't know if that's because of AI or that's just because
I think it's all right. And then it's a good reason for the tech company to 100%. Do whatever they want to do for the longest time. Now they have something to blame on. Oh, it's the AI, but they always want to trim the fat.
It's like during COVID.
That's what Tesla, Elon Musk reported earnings yesterday, and I was so shocked to see that he blamed it on interest rates. Like Elon's supposed to be like the king, the king of the gamblers. You know what I mean? Like everyone was hoping for this guy to say Tesla's amazing, we're gonna kill it, but he came out and he said, "Oh, our gross profits, we had to cut a lot of the prices on our cars because
he did.
Interest rates were high, demand is low." And for him to say that's a lot of pressure on Jerome Powell and the Fed and the Bank of Canada and all of them, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Because you don't expect a man like Elon Musk, one of the richest guys, to come out and blame his losses. Like most rich people and most successful people, they don't point fingers, you know what I mean? But the fact that he literally...
he does his accountability like a good amount of the time. Like he'll use external factors to justify his decision making.
Have you ever seen Trudeau admit to any mistakes?
That's not me saying that anyone is any better.
What's his net worth? He's pretty successful.
They're all crap. Everyone is like literally just looking out for themselves. It's what we were saying earlier. Like it's just greed. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But
and I think we were chatting like you say our grocery store, the chains in Canada were controlled just by the big three name or big three family, just like our telecommunication. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So I didn't make a video about this a couple months ago where I started seeing the stock Western George WN that was going up, and I started researching. I'm like, what is this company? I never heard about Western George, right? But it's been a company around since the 80s or whatever, right? So I looked into this, and it finds out it's a family that owns Loblaws, Shoppers, Food Basics, all these companies, right? Now, the funny thing is, when I was younger, me and my mom used to go to the store. We used to go to Loblaw, Superstore, Food Basics. Those are her favorite stores. And she used to walk around with a Food Basics flyer. She used to go to Loblaws. She used to tell Loblaws, hey, it's cheaper at Food Basics.
Yeah.
Give it to me cheaper. And I thought the cashier would call the manager, call someone. But no, cashier's like, okay, boom. No argument, no nothing. My mom
that was the policy, though. Well, what are they going to argue? Like, tell them
I don't know.
out?
Maybe they're saying, oh, well, we need to look into this more. Because it was like my mom was bringing
that was 10,
old ass flyers, right? But now my mom's happy. She just saved like $5 on like a total of like $100 of groceries. Right?
Yeah.
And then when I looked into this, I'm like, wait. Food Basics, Loblaws, and Superstores, and even Shoppers, they're all owned by the same company. So, of course, the guy's not going to complain because the money's still going to the pockets. Who cares if he's losing a couple dollars here, a couple dollars here? It's still going to the same pocket. Because it's very smart if you think about it. He's just bringing everyone to the same place. At the end of the day, he's getting richer, right?
He covered every income level. There's a service that he provided for every level.
Yes, so, because Loblaws and Dominion, those were like the more, higher class, I would say. And the Food Basics was like, my broke ass, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, they got good chicken there. I'm not gonna be mad. Their barbecue chicken is fire.
Hey, during burger season, man, the buns there, that's the go-to
it's
place.
Different.
Yeah, it's different. but you only have like 3 families. I know Western George, and then I know there's
it's like the No Frills
Metro.
Right?
No Frills is owned by Western George. Yeah, they own the list. If you watch my video, there's like a list. They have like 20, 30. They even own like Joe Fresh and President's Choice. That's another good one.
They probably own me. I'm probably on that list too. Everyone's SIN numbers on that list.
Probably. But like I don't know who the third family is, but I know the second one is Metro. But I'm pretty sure they're all friends. They're all communicating. They're going through a major lawsuit right now, and the funny thing is they're winning because they're like the way it works is like they have a proper excuse of why they're raising the interest rates. They're blaming it on inflation, right? They're blaming it on inflation. They have billions of dollars of loans, so they have to pay back those loans. So they're like, all right, we have to raise our prices so we can pay back those high interest rate loans, right? But the thing is, you have the price of the food, and you have the interest rate, and then they have just a little bit off the top, and that little bit off the top makes some billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they're doing. That's what we're fighting for, because it's like I was telling you. If you look at the flyers from 2009 and 2020 for Food Basic flyers, right now that stuff is going viral. You had in 2020, you had 2 bags of Doritos go for $5. If you check the flyer now, it's $7. And then you have the price of like grapes and apples like times 2 the price of what it was in 2009.
So 3 years, everything double.
Everything double. That's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because these last 3 years went
Did your salary double?
No, it did not. You know what's funny? Where I'm working right now, we're actually going on strike. If you've seen, there's a lot of like city workers that went on.
Oh yes,
A lot of city workers are going on strike. And
What's the strike for?
To increase our wage, because they wanted to match inflation. And the funny thing is,
so you guys gonna double your salary?
Yeah, right. You know what they offered us? 1%.
Of course, yeah.
They offered us 1%. We're fighting for
1% per year.
Yeah, 1%.
They were like, guys, listen, we're very generous. Okay, we hear what you're talking about. We're gonna give you 1%.
Wow,
they care about it. They care about us a lot. Hard workers that keep the city going, moving.
That's just a slap in the face. Like, they really give out peanuts and expect gratitude.
Well, what pissed me off was they didn't want to give a raise to the nurses, the ones that took care of everyone during
COVID.
Not the pandemic, the pandemic. But it's like you just slapped them in the face, and then now they're complaining that we don't have enough doctors and nurses. But the main problem here is, how much does a doctor make here versus in the U.S.?
Yeah.
In the
US, you should look at UK.
Yeah.
I just came back from UK. The nurses they're going on strike. They make about £25,000, so that's about 40,000.
Yeah, it's double what?
40,000.
Eh?
Yeah. And
UK is a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
They have it worse than us.
Their doctors make about £50,000. So that's about 85,000 Canadian.
What's the difference between a doctor from here and Cuba at this point, right? You know how much a Cuban doctor makes? It's like $1,000 a month. That's it. Yeah.
Canadian, right?
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But they have the mojitos.
Oh my. Alcohol.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Holy. 1%. That's all they were willing to raise it by.
Yeah, so we're planning on going on strike. We're talking about this. There's a lot of companies right now that, like, a lot of public workers that are all planning on going on strike because the city only wants to give them 1%, and meanwhile, You're seeing Olivia Chow raise the property taxes. Oh, another thing. I think I got a ticket the other day. Like before, my parking ticket used to be $30. Now it's like freaking $70.
Really?
Yeah, they're trying to make money any way we can. And have you guys noticed all those speed cameras like everywhere?
Yeah. Oh my God,
man, they're trying to make money. But the good thing is, like, I love those people. Like whenever they set up a speed camera, someone just paints it or kicks it down. You know.
Oh my God.
Shout out to all those people that are kicking down those speed cameras. You're saving me money.
That's so funny.
Even if you go like above like 5 or 10 kilometers, you're
they clock you. Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're really aggressive with it.
Dude, last year I got like at least like 20, man. My brother probably got like 50
speeding ticket.
Speeding tickets.
You still have your license?
I do, yeah. Because they were but it was very minimal. It would be like up by like 5, up by 10.
Yeah.
I don't think they can really. They just fine you on that. They don't.
Oh yeah, I think the speeding camera, they can't really find the person. They find that car. So as long as you pay it, it's okay because they don't know who's driving that car. Exactly. But if it's a police stopping you,
different story.
Then that's on your personal point.
Police is not really gonna stop you for going 5 or 10 over the phone.
Usually it's over 15.
15 or 20. I think even then it's like whatever triggers their speed.
The razor.
If you have to be driving a lot faster than the people around you. That's what it is. So if you're driving 20 over, but everyone around you is driving 20 over.
Now I'm scared. Now I drive like an old lady because with inflation and the amount of tickets I'm getting, I'm gonna go.
That's a new metric.
Life is tough.
It's hard, bro.
Now, like if the life is already tough, what do you think? People, like, how can people get out of this? Like you say, hey, they focus on the wrong things, right? They focus on pronouns. I remember you said that pronouns. Or what do you think? Okay, first of all, 2 sessions. Why do you think people are still broke? Second session is how can they get out of it? Hey, Wellbusters, I just want to put on a side note. I do not run any ads on this channel. So if you enjoyed the video up until this part, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with a few friends that can benefit from this. And let's get right back into the episode.
Yeah.
So the reason why I think a lot of people are broke nowadays is they're just focusing their energy in the wrong things. And one of the things I feel like people were focusing on the wrong things in the last couple of years was like the pronouns, gender pronouns, him, her, she, whatever, right? Like this is wasted energy because the amount of people are going to protest and fighting over causes that don't matter as much as, people dying on the other side of the country. Now that's a cause I would believe in. But when you're like, imagine all that energy you focus on worrying about your pronouns and you put that towards a side income, a business, or just even doing extra overtime at work. Now you're way above like the average Canadian that has to pay his bills, mortgage, inflation, right? Now we're seeing a lot of protests outside, especially for the Palestine and a lot of the atrocities that are happening over the world. And I'm not no hate on the people that are doing it, but I used to do this when I was 19. I used to go to like 3 or 4, maybe I've been to like 3 to 5 protests in my entire life. And I was out there marching. We have the poor Chinese Uyghur Muslims and the Palestinians. Like this has been happening for years, right? Yeah. And I was standing out in the marches and I'm mad there for like 8 hours, sometimes, all day. And I'm like the next day, the same thing's happening. Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing on social media. Right. And I'm there worrying. And mind you, I'm a college kid.
Yeah.
Probably only had like $2,000 in my bank account. I'm trying to wonder what's going on here. Right. And then I kind of had like an opening where I sat down. I'm like, is my energy worth it? Like, should I be focusing more on making money and making those changes? Because what's the most powerful thing that can make changes in the world? Money, right? Money is the only thing that can make changes in the world or changes into anyone's life. So I think by the time I was 20, like I was in college and I stopped going to those protests and I started focusing more on just trying to get a job, right? That was my first step was finish college, get a job. Okay, I got a job. Now I'm in my 9 to 5. I'm thinking I'm rich on my freaking $50K a year salary, right? And I realized now I need a car. Okay, now I got to pay rent. I got to take care of my family. I got to put food on the table. $50K is not going to cut it. How do I fix this? Well, now I look at side incomes. I look at side hustles. And I've done many side hustles before I finally figured out like social media. Like I feel like I got lucky in the sense like, there's people that caught the whole Amazon drop shipping, right? But I missed that boat. I think I missed the Shopify boat. And finally, I fell into social media, and everyone social media was something you already knew if you're a millennial, right? So, that's how I started making money was through social media, selling courses, and finance and stocks was always something I was interested in, and I thought I was pretty good at it. So, I like to teach people that kind of stuff.
So why do you think you are successful in this, I guess, side hustle and teaching people how to do stocks? I think you have a 3-step formula with 3 things you hold really close. What is that?
So the 3 ways I make social media, and there's 3 steps. The first one is to generate high volume, and the second one is to have.
Okay, hold on. Before we go to the second one, the first one. Okay, go through the first.
No,
3.
I was gonna list all 3,
and then we go in separate.
I was gonna explain it. So the first one was high volume. So you want to generate high volume, and you can do this through social media. Second one is to give out a lot of free stuff, especially make content of free stuff. And the third one is to fix a problem, and that's by selling a course.
Yes.
So let's go to the first one, which is volume. So you need to generate high volume, and that's based on gaining more followers, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you like.
So I see that your Instagram has grown substantially. TikTok, do you have a TikTok? Is it the same as Instagram?
I believe it's like 17,000 followers. Yeah.
Okay. And then YouTube is kind of like you don't put a lot of energy there.
Yeah.
What do you find the difference between all these platforms, and what does it do for you with your high volume?
The thing with, I started off on TikTok during COVID, and that one had a great algorithm. So I first went viral on TikTok. I think I was just posting for a couple days every day. You know, maybe I was getting 100 views, but I didn't stop because I was talking about stocks. Like I didn't want to dance. So I didn't want to dance on TikTok or shake my butt. So, you know, I'm like, let me talk about.
That's the OnlyFans.
So I was bored during COVID. So I'm like, you know what? I'm into stocks. Let me talk about stocks. And like I said, I didn't want to shake my butt. So I started posting more content every day. Maybe I was getting like 10 views, 20 views, 100 views. Wasn't doing much. Almost gave up. I said, you know what? I love it. So whatever. And eventually, I think a month in, one of my videos just went like to 100K out of the blue. And then boom. I decided to take advantage. Instead of like reaping in those rewards, kicking back, you know, smoking a cigar, I said, you know what, I need to go 10 times harder. So immediately, the minute I started seeing like my views go to 90,000, I'm like, all right, take out the camera, take out the ring light, start making more content. I think I made 10 videos in the span of like a couple hours. And I just started posting every day. And like to my surprise, all those videos started doing 5K, 10K. One did like another 200.
You're under the algorithms.
Algorithms, the way TikTok's algorithm is, once you're favored, and you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you got to ride the wave. I missed that wave for my YouTube channel. Yeah.
So anyways, I rode the wave, and then TikTok, it generated me a lot of like marketing projects for like CIBC and some stock companies, whatnot. And that's when I first started seeing some money come from social media. But I wasn't too excited. I was like, yeah, it can happen, whatever. And then I started getting on Instagram. And to my surprise, Instagram copied the same algorithm as TikTok. And you know what's funny? I actually had maybe 3,000 followers from 2020 all the way to 2022. For 2 years, I only had 3,000 followers to maybe 4,000 or 5,000 followers. Right? I was mostly growing on TikTok, and it was hard because Instagram, I'm like, okay, there's no growth here. But Instagram was more for like, you're kind of like showing off, and it's like your portfolio. You know? TikTok people forget, but Instagram, I used to post exclusive videos, my portfolio, how I'm doing. So it kind of took pride in that to see my portfolio grow. And then that's when Reels came out, and Reels started going crazy. So I started posting Reels, and I think within like 2 months, like boom, from 5K followers to 10K followers, and all it was consistency and following the plan and not. The thing is, a lot of people worry about like, okay, I'm posting content, but I'm not getting views. I should just quit because everyone's gonna laugh at me. And my friends used to laugh at me because I used to have multiple social media accounts. I had 2 TikTok accounts, one for traveling and one for stocks. And for Instagram, I had like a fitness page. I had like a stock page.
You were like full time.
Well, you know what it is? Like that's what I say. I can do a full-time job and I can do social media because. Like to go up to my dad and tell my dad, I'm going to quit my, 100K engineering job to be a full-time social media. You know what a brown dad's going to do? He's going to look at me, he's going to slap me twice, and he's going to say, go back to work.
But you know what though? That video would be fire.
That would be a good video. You know what? I should do like one of those prank videos. Like to this day, my dad goes like, don't quit. Like I'm making more than what I'm actually making just for my social media, my Discord. But my dad's still saying like, don't quit. And I respect my dad's opinion.
And why is your dad concerned about until you don't quit? What do you think from his standpoint?
They're old school, right? They think this is all just a sham. Maybe
he thinks it's just a drop shipping thing.
Yeah, like he thinks that they're just hyping it and then maybe I'll die out. And there's no I don't blame him, I don't blame him. We've seen this many times, and I do kind of have that worry too, where I'm like, hey, it can only get good as it can get good, and next thing you know, I've seen many creators that all of a sudden, boom, they're just getting like 10 views from doing millions of views, right? And you have to have some kind of safety net. But the thing is, I'm still like investing more of my time into social media, right? But you always have to have that balance where if I can see myself consistently progressing with social media for maybe the next 2 years, then fine, I'll quit, because now I'm seeing like this is something that's being steady, right? If I can, because the thing is, as I get older, it's hard for me to keep.
You're what? You're 27,
trends.
right?
I'm 27, yeah.
So same age as you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm starting to, like, I see my little cousins with these whole Stanley Cups coming out.
Oh my God, yeah.
I didn't even know this was a thing until
Seriously.
because of them. So I'm like, why? Like, I'm a social media guy. I should be on this trend. I should already be talking about what stock is owning Stanley. I try to look. There's no stock for it.
Yeah. I tried looking for it too. I was like, oh man.
But like back in my day when I was like 23, whatever. Like I think Kylie Jenner used to tweet about like companies. Like I think she said something negative about Snapchat, how she doesn't even use Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
Boom! I automatically like shorted Snapchat, and then that stock went down like 15% in one day. Made money, right? And this was just because of Twitter. I didn't need to know any charts. I didn't need to know any fundamental analysis. This is something called social arbitrage investing, and you're just doing it based on whatever you see. And social media is very strong for that. And I think whatever companies Kylie has, like her makeup companies, the same with Kim Kardashian, she's releasing IPO for Skims, right?
Yeah.
So I do have my eyes on that. But the thing is, I feel like you have to like kind of stay young and spot these trends and be on social media. So that part which I worry is because I now I don't really care about what pop stars and celebrities do, you know, but it's like you have to keep that interest in you just to stay relevant, especially because it has such a impact on investing nowadays.
But there's so much info coming out about it. It's almost impossible to stay like on track with it. Like I follow the subreddit like celebrity, what is it, like culture pop chat or something on Reddit. And man, the amount of like posts, like breaking news. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. But I remember when I was younger, like I would constantly be on top of like all these trends. Like I would know shit about like Kylie Jenner that like everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, but now it's like the energy's gone. Like it's.
Maybe it's just for us because we're getting older. Because maybe I'm pretty sure the younger generation is still keeping up to date. I'm not too sure, but I know my younger, like I get most of my information from my younger cousins and nieces and nephews. Yeah. Just to see what's still popping out here, right?
But it's so tough to stay on top of that and social media. But it's like they kind of go hand in hand, so it's difficult.
Yeah, well, you know, like that's why, like, if you can spot it, like that's another thing. In order to stay viral and continue to be viral and generate new followers, which is volume, like that's the number one thing I focus on. Like I don't even focus on sell. Like I don't make reels that will be like, hey, buy my course and do this, because I know. Like it's very like no one likes to be sold to, especially on social media. When you only have maybe 5 seconds of someone's attention nowadays, and the last thing they want to see is you trying to sell them a course, right? If anything, you should show them your life, and then they get interested. They look into your social media and they go like, so like the one thing I do is like I have like my stock portfolio is all the way to $145,000, right? And as a 27-year-old, most 27-year-olds don't have that kind of portfolio, and now that's the number one way to kind of like get their interest, right? Now they're gonna be wondering, wait, why is this 27-year-old doing better than me? Let me look into him. Oh, he teaches about investing. Oh, he teaches about trading. Oh, he teaches how to save money. Oh, wait, he's giving out information for free? You know what? I'm gonna follow him. Yeah. And then you know what? Like every week, I'm gonna keep showing him stuff. I'm gonna show him my profits. I'm gonna show him more free stuff. How I save $100 here. And eventually, like the FOMO is gonna kick in, and that finger's gonna click right into my course shopping cart. Boom! I just made a sell right there, right? So it's almost like a long-term grab where I get a follower, then I just have to work on him, try to sell to him for a day, a week, year, whatever, right?
Subliminal messaging.
You give value, free value, reciprocity. Eventually, people want to give back too, and that's what Alex Hormozi said too, right? Keep giving.
He's very good.
Defer gratification, and I think both of us still doing it at a very low level, and like Alex Hormozi does a very high level where he just sell the book for $1 longest time, but he only attracted top end. He helped everyone make money. All the business, you're not making more than $3 million per year. Take my stuff, go make more than $3 million. Come call me in, and potentially you can partner with me. And he will just put equity in acquisition.com, right? So that's a very different business model too. Right. So since we're talking about the viral stuff though, I want to ask about, this would be the last question. We want to ask about one of your shorts. You tell people what the Canadian, the best advice you can give it to the Canadian. What is it? What's the best advice you can give it to Canadian?
The best advice to Canadians is to leave.
and then my immediate thoughts is like, well, you're coming on our podcast, so you're still in Canada. Why is that?
I haven't followed my advice, but the thing is, so I know you travel. Do you travel a lot too? So when you travel a lot, you see the way how different countries operate. And one country very specifically, I went to Dubai recently last year. And it was more.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 2 weeks, so it was more of a business
family or business trip.
It was a business trip / like I've never been to Dubai, so I wanted to visit.
I've never been yet, but my friends was gonna go and rent out some Lambos and all that. I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
It's not a trip to Dubai unless
they were like business networking. I'm like, okay.
No, but I was lucky enough, like through my networks, I had so it was like a couple restaurants that were up in Dubai, and they wanted me to do marketing because
nice.
So one of my side business was like drone footage and social media marketing.
Oh, nice.
And making just travel videos and videos for businesses. So yeah, I was called to do that, not for stocks or anything. So I was called more for doing marketing for the company, the restaurant. And while I was there, I met like a lot of people that don't look successful, but very successful. And it was pretty mind blowing because you think everyone in Dubai is rich, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's not real.
It's the same thing here. Where it's
pyramid. It's a pyramid.
There's no middle class. So there's a
top and bottom.
Top and bottom. So the majority of the people is just the working class
and they're foreigner people.
Foreigners, India, Bangladesh.
I think the same in Qatar as well. Yeah.
All those UAE countries, exactly the same. Yep. All operate the same, but they're all happy because it's a very safe country. There's no interest. I think the interest rates are like 1%, and majority of the interest rate is 0.
Low taxes too for like the natives who live there too. I think if you work in Dubai, it's like low tax.
Oh, very. So, Oh, barely any. No, I don't even think there's any tax. Very low tax. Like all the money you earn, you keep, and very safe. And even the guys that were the waiters at the restaurant, I felt bad for them. They're sweating in the heat, but they're so happy. They're proud because they're making enough money to send back to home. But either way, why do I see leave? Well, just my like 2 weeks experience in Dubai blew my mind. The amount of people I spoke to. I'll give you an example. I spoke to one guy who was a rug dealer. Like he sold carpets, rugs, a very basic business that could generate you maybe 100 grand, 200 grand, and maybe even less than in Toronto, Canada, right? You know how much this guy was making? He was generating about 10 million US a year.
I'm in the wrong business.
I'm like, how are you making 10 million US to sell rugs? And he's like, well, let me explain to you. This is what I do. Dubai is so luxurious that every hotel, how the hotels that have rugs, carpets, because there's so many like Saudi princes and oil sheiks or whatnot, they have to keep their 5-star rating, they remove those carpets, rugs completely. So maybe like once a week, they'll remove all those carpets overnight, and they do it so quick. They remove them, and mind you, hotels are like 30 floors, so they're removing it from all of them. And the guy takes those carpets, obviously he washes them, deep clean, but then he installs new carpets, and God knows how much he's charging, but these are big hotels, So he's doing that. He's also doing that for museums, palaces. There's a lot of history in Dubai, museums, and this guy's generating $10 million for a business that could generate only 100, 200 grand in Toronto. So the potential for, because the best businesses are the boring businesses.
Yeah,
that's what stays longer, like garbage companies, waste management, all these companies. And if you can figure out a boring business to launch over there, you'll be making enough money to survive.
Have you found that yet?
No, but the thing is, I did get offered to stay in Dubai to do social media marketing because it's something I like and enjoy, right? And
how much were you offered? Just curious.
I was offered 70,000 USD plus, and mind you, no taxes on that.
Yeah.
And they were gonna pay for my condominium there.
So that means you're richer than where you are today. So why didn't you take that job?
I chose, in a selfish way, because my family's here. I'm the kind of like the oldest in the family, so I have to kind of take care of my family. Some of my businesses are also here, so I'm in the process of. I've already gave over one of my businesses to my brother to run, so I'm in the process of kind of only focusing all my energy into my stocks and social media stuff. So I am thinking about going back to Dubai again this year. Like the partnership's still there. What I did was the smart thing I did was I hired someone there, one of my friends to go, and he kind of took my position there.
Nice.
Good.
But in a way,
keep your foot in.
So in a way, my foot's still there, and I'm still taking somewhat of a cut. I'm not gonna completely take all the money from the guy, right? And the thing is, I do plan on going to Dubai maybe 2 times this year and try to figure out more work, because I do want to, like, you know, like, but also, you know, the thing about Dubai is it's kind of a fake lifestyle too. So I couldn't probably live there, because it's kind of like, you know, it's
very glamorous,
keeping up with the Joneses type of thing.
Yeah, the appearance, the game, and it's just
yeah.
And you're probably a broke guy if you make 70K USD.
Oh, that's nothing out there, man. Nothing out there.
They're gonna be like giving donations. Like, honestly, their game is on a whole other level, bro.
There's a lot of rich people. There are a lot of millionaires, but a lot of them are, like, majority of the millionaires I saw there were a lot of the crypto bros. So they made a lot of money from crypto, and the first thing they do is they go to Dubai. So they aren't exactly, I would say,
the crowds you want to.
I want to be around, because they haven't really worked hard. So so
come too fast.
The money came too fast, so they haven't felt the process of working hard and going through the struggles, going through losses and wins. And I'm pretty sure 90% of them are similar this way, where they just want to spend their money on bottles, clubs, girls, whatever. But I'm not really too keen into that whole nightlife. You know, I'm kind of older, kind of like, I'm like somewhat antisocial, but only social with my circle. You know what I mean? And I think that happens once you, like, start working more and getting a little bit more.
Cool, man.
You find joy in, like, the, you know, the rustic, like, the lifestyle, like, just hanging out, family, and
the fact that I just chose to, because back in the day I was too focused on work and I didn't spend enough time with family, right? I used to spend more time with friends and go out, and you know how Toronto life is, right? And I think Toronto life is kind of getting into that Miami vibe. It's slowly creeping up there. But anyways, I wanted to stay away from all that and just focus more on, like, my circle and friends and family, things that actually matter. You know what I mean?
Those are the memories you want to look back on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, we wish you had more time. Time flies. Time flies. Where can people find more about you?
Yeah, so BD Investing on Instagram and TikTok, and then it's the same on YouTube too. I'm starting to post more content on YouTube. I just started back, you know, in the wintertime I get bored. But yeah, guys, find me on BD Investing. Also, I have a website if you want to join my so I have a Discord, and I have an investing in options trading course. So bdinvesting.org, and you guys can find me there.
Cool. Cool. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. If you're watching until this point, make sure you like and subscribe, and we have more episodes like this waiting for you, so stay tuned. And if you don't mind, give us a 5-star review so more people like yourself can enjoy episodes like this.